happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah. Joe said we couldn't do this one in costume, so.
Did anyone do anything Halloween-y?
No.
Well, it's still light out here.
Took a nap.
That's fair. Joe, you're in costume. You're in costume as a disgruntled NASCAR fan.
What?
I don't know. I did Halloween things. I had a good time. I'm the reason we're recording late because I went and did Halloween things and it took longer than I thought. So
that's okay.
If everyone but me is miserable, it's my fault.
Yeah, it's convenient because I got distracted talking to my parents because I had to pick something up from their house and I was like, I'm late. And then I saw you message like, I'm gonna be late, and I was like,
yeah, I make everyone feel better because I do worse things than them.
Oh my god.
Whew. Luckily, I ate. They had pizza. My sister. I went and handed out candy with my niece. My sister had pizza available, and it was a good time.
Was it good pizza?
Sounds like
it was Domino's, so it was as far as chains go, it was just fine.
Mm. Good.
Yeah. As it was.
Was it delivery?
Yesterday. Boba was delicious yesterday. I don't know. I wasn't there for it.
Okay.
I got off work late. I even got there late. So I'm late all the time.
Are there good boba places there?
Not too many around here. There's one place that's like 15 minutes up the road that is okay, but I recently had a place in Gainesville. It's called Tea Story.
Yeah.
It's delicious. It is so good.
I forgot to preface the there with the college town, not the where you live.
In Gainesville.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, there is the Tea Story place I was talking about. I think there's other places, but Tea Story is chef's kiss, beautiful, perfect. Best tiger milk tea I've ever had.
I tailgated my butt off, and by tailgating my butt off, I went to a tailgate for the Michigan State game.
Were you at the game?
Oh yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. Go to every game.
That's cool.
Got to kick the crap out of little brother. It's always fun.
I BMX raced this weekend, and I posted the video. But there was a guy in Spider-Man costume putting on a clinic. So, unfortunately, I missed the part where he threw a massive turn down over the triple going into the second perm. But yeah,
is that like BMX speak for what Ross Chastain did this weekend?
A little bit. He did lick the stamp and send it. So
we'll get to that. I don't want to touch that until we're ready for it. But.
And with that transition, folks, welcome back to the Fake Racers podcast. After a week off, thankfully, not a lot happened at Homestead, and the only thing that seems to have ramifications from Homestead came up this week, so we'll talk about it. But as always, I'm Joe.
I'm Davey.
I'm Matthew.
And we're going to talk about some racing for a little bit because we only got like one more of these after this week. So after that, you get a break from us, and it's going to be great.
Well, we got to make sure we do our end of season grades.
Oh, that's right.
Our beginning season grades.
That's right. Our predictions versus our end of seasons, and then the mid seasons ones we did not do.
Well, the mid season, that was dumb. That was a dumb idea from the start. I'm glad we didn't do those. All right, good talk.
Thanks.
Sorry, my internet was acting up.
You say you act like you're hurt, but you didn't do them either. So.
Yeah, I didn't need you to say they were dumb, though.
Oh my god, we didn't do them, so they are dumb. Because they don't exist.
All right, Christopher Bell gets another walk-off win.
Bruh.
What?
I thought we were all going to be nice and refreshed, and Joe's just whining.
I'm so confused.
I am too! We didn't do
Davey said all these nice things on the little clip I put out on the podcast platforms about me. Says all these nice things, and then...
Not just you, Joe. Don't be so self-centered. It was about everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so self-centered that I record this podcast every week, except last week with you two. Do all the editing of it and do all the show. I'm so self-centered, though. I'm sorry. I'll try to be better. Davey, what did you think of Christopher Bell winning the race this weekend, Davey?
Well... If there were mid-season grades, then it wouldn't have mattered because this was after the mid-season, and guess what? Those were dumb anyway. As far as Christopher Bell right now, I mean, I don't know. What do you want me to say about it? I don't care about Christopher Bell. It's cool that he got another walk-off win. This is to a lot of fans' dismay, I'm not going to say if it's mine or not. A lot of fans' dismay. This is why the playoffs were brought in. Moments like these. Christopher Bell sorely needed a win twice in this playoffs, and he's gone out and done it. That's pretty clutch, if you ask me. So yeah, it's the point and playoff system working as it's designed to do, and it was pretty exciting. It was all right. It was pretty cool. Good for Christopher Bell. Not happy. Not really happy that Gibbs won, but
Oh well. Yeah. There's a lot there to unpack.
There's a lot there to unpack, and we will.
We will.
Just another clutch performance.
And this is for a guy that opened the playoffs like setting the world on fire, right? Like it. Mm-hmm. I think that has gotten lost in these last couple of rounds of how well he has performed in these playoffs. You look at Las Vegas; he was running very well, and then we all know what happened there. We don't need to talk about it. Performed okay last week, which, if Vegas doesn't happen, was probably going to be in a position this week where he didn't need to win. But needed to win, won. Pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Good for him, man.
Christopher Bell, most likable Gibbs guy, pretty much because like his personality in the public sphere to this point is like a wet blanket, but it's definitely better than some of the other personalities there at times.
It's like how we rip on Riley Herbst for just being like generic race car driver, but
but Christopher Bell's at least cool generic race car
and he's
driver.
Like he's good at what he does. Also, he's very good at driving.
Well, you didn't have to say that.
Christopher Bell is a good generic race car driver.
Yeah.
Riley Herbst is a
generic race car
driver. He drives cars.
Yeah. Relatively, Riley Herbst is good at driving a race car, but
relatively to say a toddler or a dog.
To like the average person, yeah.
Or a toddler or a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Toddler or a dog.
Or like some bacteria. Mm-hmm. like a fungus.
An amoeba.
I bet I could throw a fungus at a steering wheel and it would hit a corner better than Riley Herbst could at sometimes.
Anyway.
He's not going to be in the sport much longer, Joe. It's okay.
No, I'm not going to keep kicking a guy when he's already down on the ground. That's kind of little brother stuff. But there's other things there, Davey, that we can talk about that you missed. But Ross Chastain.
What did Ross Chastain do?
Holy crap! What did he do? He threw the integrity of the sport out the window, Davey.
Hey man, sometimes Freebird comes on and you just gotta let loose.
That Twitter video someone made of like Freebird kind of like faintly playing, and then it comes to his onboard and it's blasting as he's bouncing off the wall.
The best part is when he comes off video. 4 and it just gets louder as he gets closer to the camera.
I don't think I saw a single meme about his move that I didn't find funny. Every single one of them made me laugh. All of them. Good. It's just impossible to see that and not be totally flabbergasted by it again. Like, it's just such an insane move.
So I gotta admit, my roommate was watching this with me, and I watched Bell cross the line, and I was like, "Ah, damn!" And I looked down at my phone, and then I heard Rick Allen screaming, and I looked up, and Ross Chastain was ahead of Denny Hamlin, and his car was destroyed. And I was like, "What? What happened?"
Big props to NBC for the way they shot that.
Yeah.
Holy crap! They're showing Ross going into 3. They switch to the stationary cam at the start-finish line. And you just see Ross just around the outside.
One car in the wall, trail of smoke behind him.
My favorite part, and I went back and watched to see if what I saw was like real when it happened, because obviously like Ross Chastain did that, but I love the camera guy instinctively slowing up in the braking zone, like slowing the tracking, and then had to catch back up to him because he's hauling ass on the fucking wall. Like... insane.
Everything about that's great, especially his onboard where you see Briscoe start to brake and then he grabs 5th. So insane.
Everyone's spotters like, oh my god.
Just the fact that somebody, I mean, of course it was Ross Chastain who tried it, but somebody was like, I'm just gonna full throttle it and literally rip the fence, and hopefully I don't die.
He saved his best Ross Chastain moment for last with that one.
There's still one more race, man.
I don't know. I don't know if he can.
He finished second
top,
here in the spring, man. I don't know.
If he can top that, I'll be a Ross Chastain fan for life.
What if he just goes out this week and leads like 300 laps and absolutely dominates the race?
Oh my god!
And they finish, and Justin Marks is just kind of standing there like.
Yeah.
Like, his crew is celebrating. Justin Marks has not moved.
He's like, what?
He's like, did we make it? I don't know what happened.
Am I supposed to be happy that my car is destroyed?
Am I allowed to celebrate that? Are we good?
I don't know if you watched it, but I posted the video in here. It's like the best of all the radio transmissions, and Ross and his spotter's reactions. Like, his spotter just telling me, he's like, all right, just keep it in here, as he's full throttle riding the outside wall at like 130 miles an hour. And then he crosses the line, and Ross's voice is like kind of shaky. He's like, "Did we make it?" And then like he and his spotter are totally calm, and then his crew chief is the one that starts freaking out because he like it sets in like that just worked.
I loved that too. Do we need to get him? And his spotter's like, "Yeah, we need to get him. We're out by 2 right now." Ross Chastain drops a gear not 10 seconds later. Oh man,
I think it's insane.
New track record on that lap too.
Yeah, new cup track record. Ironically enough, still a half. I think it's a half a tenth slower than the modified track record, which is insane. Puts into perspective the modified cars, but the fastest cup lap there, I think ever.
He was almost 2 seconds faster than the rest of the field on the last lap too, doing that. And there's a lot of people out there that are saying, "Oh, you can't let him do this," crying, bawling. Physics shouldn't allow that to work. So for all the people that aren't having fun and are like crying, like maybe you're a Denny Hamlin fan, or maybe you're a Chase Elliott number 9 team owners points fan, but that physics don't make sense there. So 9 times out of 10 that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I mean this has led to a lot of conversations about whether rules should be made. I think this should stand. It'll work this time. Let it be. I think they should maybe make a wall riding rule so we don't see 8 cars on the last lap of Martinsville. Send it onto the wall. Like, it's a mess. That's a mess because 9 or 10 cars are going to do it next October at Martinsville. And it's going to be a mess. It's going to look silly and foolish that we didn't try to enforce it in some way. And it's not going to be hard to enforce.
No.
You make up you make the rule, no wall riding. It's obvious what wall riding is. Everyone, like, all these people are trying
wall riding.
But that's what it is, because if you try to name it, like, there's a bunch of other people who are like trying to, I think they're like trying to create a problem on their own. It's like, if you say they can't hit the wall, what are they gonna do? Penalize you if you drive too hard and hit the wall? Like, those people are just making something up to be mad at. If you call it wall riding, at least there's a name for it. The name means the thing that it is. There's no questioning what it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those situations where it's pretty easy to make and everyone hates them, but this would be an easy judgment call situation, in my opinion. You just say you have to make an attempt to make the corner. Like, it. Yeah.
No, I don't like that one. I don't like that one. No, the wording's terrible. The wording's awful.
Why? Did Ross Chastain attempt to make that corner?
Someone can go into the corner and bounce off the wall, and then you could say they didn't make an attempt to make the corner. Where's the evidence? Oh, well, SMT data says they throttled up and they hit the wall. That's BS. I'm sorry. The wording is terrible. You call it wall riding. That's it. You call it wall riding.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like it from the perspective of, if you're NASCAR, be like, hey, that was cool. Don't ever do it again.
Yep. Yep. And I'm not like trying to shut you down, Joe. I'm not we agree in essence, but I just think a reasonable attempt to make the corner, we're getting into judgment. We're getting into like serious judgment level territory, judgment call territory.
That gets into the 100% rule territory, kind of.
And we talk about how silly that is all the time. I feel like calling it wall riding, if you send it into the corner and you're riding the wall, if you're touching the wall and you're gaining an advantage by slamming against the wall, that is not allowed. If you are bouncing off the wall on the corner exit, you're probably not going to gain an advantage doing that anyway. So, whatever. Or if you ride the wall, you get a 5-second penalty. I don't know. Like, I feel like any other wording leaves too much open to interpretation, but I think there does need to be a rule.
Yeah. Knowing NASCAR, though, they'll find a way to make it really dumb. So, yeah.
Oh, if you make
I think you hit the nail on the head.
You make an attempt to make the corner, you can kind of maybe curb some of the stuff. Ooh, almost slipped. That you saw on Saturday, and we'll get there. But
yeah.
That's
a whole other can of worms too.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. This is more of a situation where you can call a spade a spade. You know, like I don't know if it's as like black as gray as you're thinking it is. You know, if they can say that, you know, 45 car intentionally wrecked somebody based off of SMT data, that's pretty. I think it'd be pretty obvious to be able to tell from SMT data when someone's.
What about Ty Gibbs?
That's exactly what I'm saying. You can then use that rule to curb stuff like that, because he didn't make an attempt to make a corner either. But he didn't.
Yeah, but he wrecked him on purpose.
Okay, well, bam, double jeopardy, got him. Like whatever.
I think you guys are arguing the same thing.
We are.
I'm confused.
I don't know.
If you make it vague,
Anyway.
No one's going to try anything because they're not going to know where the line is. And then you'll have one idiot that tries to find the line and he'll step over it inevitably. So that's the way I look at it.
Or you could call it wall riding and then no one's going to ride the wall.
Yeah, but if you call it wall,
penalty
don't
is.
call it wall. That sounds so freaking dumb.
But is that not what it is?
To be fair,
What is it called?
it is pretty dumb looking.
Well, yeah, it's dumb, but the move was dumb. Like, what do you want me to call it? Like, do you want me? Oh, no one is allowed to do the Hail Melon Man in the final corner. Like, no, it's wall riding. It's what it is.
Just sounds dumb.
Do not slide your right side or left side tires along the wall of which contains the racetrack. It sounds dumb. It's wall riding. There's a 100% rule. 100% rule. There's a rule that states you have to go 100% at all times, and we're worried about the statement of wall riding sounding dumb.
I mean, to be fair, nobody's ever gone more 100% than Ross did right there.
Yeah, no, honestly, you can penalize Ross. He went more than 100%, right?
Yeah, he went 120 because nobody had used fifth gear all day. So.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Driver reactions were fun. Denny Hamlin once again misses the final four in hilarious fashion again, because for all the crap that was talked all season long about how he's going to get, and maybe he gets Ross back this weekend. I don't know. It's funny. It's just funny.
I just thought it was over after Pocono. So.
I just thought it.
Me too.
It's funny.
I was talking to Joe about this before we started the show, but during that last run when Ross kind of overcooked it under Denny and got into him, and then Denny like tried to hit him and Ross just like let him go. He was like, "Take it, I don't want it. Just go." He was like, "I didn't try to hit you. I'm sorry. Go." So, yep. Do we have anything else to say or?
Not really.
Ross Chastain. That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Happy for Trackhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, being in the owner's title is a big deal, because that's where you get all your money from. So, especially for a team that's still in its infancy.
It's crazy to think about at the start of this year. If we were to predict the Final Four, we'd be like, yeah, it's going to be a Gibbs car, a Hendrick car, a Penske car, and a Trackhouse car. Like, that's kind of crazy to think about after the year they've had.
I think most people would have, if they were going to hear that it was going to be a new team, they would have leaned to 2311. They would have leaned.
Oh, yeah.
Kurt Busch, or maybe even Bubba Wallace, like stretches goes in and does it. It's cool. I'm obviously a big Trackhouse fan. Very, very happy. I'm rooting for Trackhouse this weekend. So, hell yeah. Also, who had the really lame reaction? Kyle Larson had a really lame reaction to it. That's pretty lame. That's embarrassing.
I did it last year and I didn't win, but that's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for myself.
You said the N-word on an iRacing Twitch stream. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. That's what Joe and I were talking about before we started the show was like, he prefaced it. He was like, "Yeah, I was like embarrassed that me trying it inspired somebody last year." I'm like, "Then why did you even try it?"
I love it. I love it when people take credit too for inspiring things.
Yeah, took credit for it. That was the weirdest part as well.
I was like, Noah Gragson did it in a truck race like 4 years ago, but
Sheldon Creed literally did it like 5 weeks ago. Like I don't get it. Like
I know, and it's kind of apples to oranges, but Carl Edwards 2008, kind of the same idea. So
Daniel Hemrick last year at Phoenix, you know,
it's just like it.
It's
That's
just,
the other thing
dumb.
too. It directly benefited Kyle Larson's team because they got into the owners playoff because of that.
Because of what?
And because didn't the point because the 5's in the owners championship, right?
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, what? It didn't. Okay.
Yeah, because they won.
But still, it's like you did the same thing. And now you're mad that somebody else tried it and successfully pulled it off. Was it dumb and kind of embarrassing? Yeah, but you tried it too. Like you're not. And it's not like Kyle Larson expressed a ton of remorse when he did it.
No.
He was like, "Yeah, I don't know. I thought it would work." It's like, why all of a sudden the change? Like, what the hell?
I'm sure Ross Chastain's really embarrassed to go race for a championship.
Yeah,
right. I'm sure he's really embarrassed for all this. All of a sudden, all the extra followers and name value and being the Sports
merch
Center
money
top
that he's gonna
play
make
on a freaking football Sunday. He's the top play. Like, yeah, I'm sure.
Daniel Ricciardo literally called him a hero.
Like, I'm sure he's so disappointed. He's so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the sponsors lining up at his door next year. Jeez.
God.
But obviously, these were pretty easy to see. Briscoe and Byron out, and then Blaney and Hamlin out.
Briscoe tried his damnedest. He pulled finishes out of his butt all playoffs.
Yeah. They had great speed today, too, and they just got caught in the back all day, unfortunately. Because I think they had like an early pit penalty or something. But yeah, if that race was like 5 laps shorter, we might have been talking about Briscoe in the Final Four and not Bell.
Brad Keselowski's team can't have anything good happen. They get DQ'd because they broke the rules and didn't meet minimum weight.
That sucks.
Wouldn't be surprised. I think it was Chris posted over in one of the Discords about hearing that they thought the tire rubber would build up, and I don't know. That's weird, but also
that's not
enough.
A lot more teams probably do that than you think. It is an embarrassing miscalculation, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it can't. If you're under, that's a lot of rubber, right? Like,
yeah,
it can be. I mean, even in karting, when like, and this is karting. This is apples to oranges. But like, I would imagine in cars, it's a little more because there's more like rubber buildup on the outside of the racetrack. But when you're done with a karting session, if you need to make weight, you're driving off the groove, picking up the rubber, doing the same thing.
Yeah.
There was I can't remember what Xfinity team it was, but they pulled a chunk of rubber that was like this big out of like one of the wheel wells on their pit stop.
I saw that.
I thought that was Logano on Sunday.
Oh, maybe it was on Sunday. Yeah,
I forget who it was, but someone. Yeah.
I would think it was the Cup cars because a couple of them caught on fire too. Like,
oh yeah.
We got it. These next gen cars are on there.
Are not safe. I didn't put that in our sheet because we talked about it way too much. Kyle Busch.
I wanted to say one quick thing about when you were talking about the next gen thing. How there's that video of the crash test of them, and everybody's like, "Why is the fuel cell like out behind the car?" And I'm like, "It's always been like that. Where else are you going to put the fuel cell? Do you want the
fuel cell to go into the cabin where the driver is?"
I was like, A,
I don't understand.
It's always been there. B, where else are you going to put it? Like, remember in last year's Daytona 500 when Brad Keselowski went into a giant fireball because the fuel cell ruptured?
The fuel cell doesn't move and they're freaking out. I'm like, it shouldn't move.
Have you ever looked at when there's a problem with the fuel system and they open the deck lid? It's almost like it's been there for, I don't know, like 60 years.
Well, you don't want it to move. That's like the one thing you're okay with it not move. Well, you don't want the driver to move, but you're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay if that doesn't move.
My favorite from that video, and this is low-hanging fruit, everyone being like, wow, they're going to be crashing it a lot faster than 33 miles an hour. I'm like, bro, you're lost. You're lost. Get off Twitter, read a book. I don't know what to tell you. If you're saying that, you're saying that.
Again, forces, folks, forces.
Yeah.
Also, they're going to be crashing at like 160. Bro, you don't know what you're talking about.
Unless you're Brad Smith at Talladega in an ARCA race, you're probably not hitting the wall at 180.
Now at the back of the race car too. That's the other thing. If they're crash tests in the back, that when you spin, you lose speed, and then also it's about, you're going this way, and the wall's here. Like you're going perpendicular, parallel to the wall, not perpendicular to it.
Yeah.
Also,
you're not
firing a car at a wall at 180 miles an hour. It's also pretty difficult to do. So probably not going to do that.
Also, never going to happen. Like you're never going to hit a wall at 180 miles an hour directly straight forward on at a NASCAR race. It's just not going to happen. There's glancing angles. That's how it works.
The driver would literally have to fall asleep at the wheel and turn right going into a corner to even have a chance of doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't...
And then the car would disintegrate anyway. It doesn't matter how strong you build it. The car is going to disintegrate. The driver is dying if they go 180, 2-0 exactly, straight on.
Never change NASCAR Twitter.
I'm just curious what happens when they ram the sled into the back of it. So. But I'm really curious about.
That's got to be my favorite one. So every 2 weeks, I think about that, and I'm just like, yeah.
I'm just surprised people didn't pick up on it.
Just Calvin and Hobbes on a fucking sled crashing into the side of it.
Oh my! I think there's been a couple of those ones dropped in there, but I'm gonna write that one down.
Oh, did I just swear?
You did, but it's okay. I'm getting ready to just start marking this podcast as explicit and just ripping it and gripping it. Kyle Busch has had the most unholy send-off from Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah, I mean, that happens when you give Kyle Busch a hamster engine in the race Martinsville.
So, there were some interesting points last week. Because last week's, not this previous 3 days ago, but the week prior's race for the championship episode followed Kyle Busch around the RCR announcement. Got some kind of comments we didn't hear from him directly in the media. A little more pointed about, hey, all of a sudden Gibbs just doesn't like me anymore. And there were a lot of people saying, well, they offered you a bunch of money. And I hate when we fault people for trying to get what they're worth.
Real.
Because Kyle Busch is definitely worth more money than what he will be making next year. I'm assuming, just because that's the way the driver market is right now.
Mm-hmm.
And to be like, well, that's... And I get from a team perspective, teams can't afford that. But to also go after a guy and say that it's his fault, victim blaming is bad, let me tell you. But
yeah, especially when you consider that it's not only is Kyle Busch a race car driver, but he has an energy drink business and an entire team that he runs. So it's maybe don't be surprised that he's not going to sign with you if you lowball him.
Yeah.
So,
he probably wishes he had some more offers that he had a couple of months ago on the table. Yeah, I'm sure he does, but it doesn't excuse Joe Gibbs Racing for having no fanfare around him leaving. There have been, I think, Interstate maybe put out a message on their last race with him at Texas, maybe. The M&M's car this weekend, I don't know, it just...
Meh.
Yeah.
It just seems very, non-ceremonious for someone who did a lot for the organization that he's leaving.
Has won your 2 championships since Tony left.
Yep.
Tony got a better send-off. Not that his was all that great, but he at least got a send-off.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch's send-off is seeing the kid that's replacing him wreck somebody for a win, albeit a teammate. So, I don't know. It's just... I feel bad for him. I don't know if you guys do. I know it's Kyle Busch, and it's hard to feel bad for him because he does and says things.
No, I do.
Even if I dislike Kyle Busch, the race car driver, a lot of time, which I don't even root against Kyle Busch. He just does dumb things that upset me a lot of times. That's a lot of race car drivers. It's the level of disrespect is so absurd, and it's just so perfectly convenient that they had a car that was so slow on raw pace that it was barely making minimum speed. The same weekend that Kyle Busch also talked about feeling like he wasn't welcome at JGR anymore. It's just
yeah,
all right, that's interesting coincidence, but
it's. Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's been some videos too of him talking with the team and being like, "I have your guys' back. I know you have my back, no matter what." I don't think it's his team thing. I don't think so. At least it's awful.
Yeah, it's just like it's so disrespectful too, especially when what Kyle has done for that entire organization. I mean, he's been the face of Toyota as a whole for like 15 years now, almost.
I mean, he got Toyota their first win.
He's carried the Toyota TRD flag for ever, since their entry into the sport, almost. At least in the Cup Series.
Mm-hmm.
So to see it kind of fizzle out this way is disappointing.
Yeah,
to say the least. That was a very dour note.
Yeah, let's do the other dour note. Downer.
Yeah, for real, Jesus.
Tyler Reddick parks early, had some contact on the front of the race car, ran into somebody, but it sounded like RC told him to go ahead and park it because he was complaining about having a headache. Had a really rough hit at Homestead last week. Hoping that he's okay. I know he's going through protocols and stuff. Would think it'll be Austin Hill in that car if Tyler can't go this weekend at Phoenix. Would hope that he doesn't go if he doesn't feel 100%.
Yeah. Want these drivers to be safe. It sucks, but I'm glad he parked it if he was feeling crappy.
Yeah. Two other things. Cole Custer had a really strong day in the 41 off the heels of
respect on his name.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Off the heels of the whole grid thing at Vegas. That was pretty funny. Not funny, but like weird. Not funny, haha, funny, weird. And then Bubba Wallace, I think he ended up finishing top 10. Can't quote me on that one.
Well.
He was one of the cars that Ross passed at the end of the race.
Okay. So. Makes sense.
Yeah, Bubba had a really good run. Custer, unfortunately, didn't get the finish. He finished like 15th, I think, something like that, because once he got...
Custer and that shit happens to him, so...
Yeah, well, that and he was one of the two guys who gambled on like 100-lap old tires, so...
Well, he stayed out to help a teammate.
Yeah, as soon as a couple people got by him, he just dropped like a rock. So...
I liked it, too, how they didn't... The dumbest move of that race was not coordinating that restart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was...
Having Briscoe take the inside. Like, coordinate it. I know you're under the microscope from NASCAR. Like, that was such a dumb move to be like, well, we don't want to do that because that's... I'm sure that's what it was, but...
Yeah.
Hendrick literally did it all day, so do it.
It's done at Martinsville every time we go there.
Yeah.
I think I see it every time we go to Martinsville.
See it every time that there's the one-lane dominant track and there's two teammates on the front row.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that was the Cup race.
Now we got the juicy stuff. Excuse me.
Yeah, the juicy stuff.
I
had something I wanted to say and I lost it. In terms of Bubba Wallace, again, really something I thought that it wasn't cool was NBC being like, "Hey, he declined an interview last week because we weren't on here." So I just wanted to put that out there. I would.
Yeah, my thing with that is if I were Bubba Wallace, I wouldn't want to make my grand statement over a Zoom call either. I'd want to do it in person in the media center or, I'd want to do it in person at the very least.
Yeah.
So, that was a weird call to announce that. But I think he set the record straight this weekend. The people who don't want to listen to it didn't listen to it, and that's what was going to happen.
That's fine. Yeah. Whatever.
I think in that case, that's just like trying to be not integral. Trying to have like journalistic integrity, because a lot of the time, if you do a piece on somebody and if you don't reach out to them, people are going to go, okay, then why didn't you reach out? So most of the time they're going to disclose, like, we tried reaching out to him and they didn't comment or they didn't respond.
Yeah, but this was a, hey, NBC pre-race show. Yeah, we reached out to Bubba to talk with him and he didn't want to interview. It wasn't like a, we're writing this story and he couldn't be reached for comment type of thing.
Yeah, and that's fair too.
It's different to say that you can't reach someone for comment and saying someone declined an interview.
Yeah.
Very different. Even though most of the time they're the same thing.
Yeah. One's just like a nicer way of wording something.
Yes.
So,
So yeah. Ty Gibbs wins.
Oh, something like that.
I literally only saw the overtimes. I would just like to say that on the first overtime, I said to my friend that I was watching the race with that doesn't watch NASCAR consistently, hey, the 54 is going to run over the 19. Hey, they're teammates. And he's like, what? And I'm like, yeah, he's gonna run him over here on the restart. And then he did. He ran over Sammy Smith, too. Yep. And then he did it again, and I'm like, yeah, he's going to do it again. And he did it again. And then he got by that time. And then I'm like, all right, well, watch. The 19 is going to just run him up the track again because he's got open season. Hey, guess what he did? And then go down to one. I'm like, yep, 44 is dumping him. And lo and behold. So Ty Gibbs continues to make no friends. Literally every driver that was asked about this said they weren't surprised, which
even his teammates.
That takes a lot.
Oh my god!
Imagine being this hated by your peers. Does anyone like? No one in the industry seems to like Ty Gibbs except for Grandpa.
Yeah.
Except for Coach.
The freaking fans. Thank you, Grandpa Chad, and he's taking pictures in Victory Lane.
Martinsville Xfinity fans were on point with the chants and the booing. Loved it all. Loved it. Keep it up. That was awesome. Great atmosphere.
Yeah. Congrats on the championship next week, Junior, by the way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They better. I swear,
really hope
Phoenix will burn if the 54 wins the title.
Yeah.
I really hope this is a case where Brandon Jones is being really smart and not saying a thing, being a good boy, and then I hope he rolls up to Phoenix, and I hope lap one, the first chance he gets, I hope Ty Gibbs gets absolutely stuffed firewall deep, and I hope he doesn't even have a chance, and I hope Brandon Jones flies home and waits for that JRM contract to tick over.
Yeah, and I can't remember who I was talking to this. I'm like, obviously Dale Jr. is not the kind of guy to get in his ear and go, hey man, you want to work for us? But it's in the back of his head. He's like, this team that I'm not even driving for cares more about me than this one who I'm driving for right now. So why would I help them at all after what just happened?
Yeah.
Just absolute clown shit. Unreal.
I'm not editing them out anymore. I give up. It's the end of the year.
Yeah.
This episode has been marked E for explicit. It's not suitable for kids under the age of 13.
Post Martinsville.
Yeah.
Tempers are flaring.
Yep.
This is.
If
there's ever an episode to mark explicit, it'd be this one.
Yeah, I from a sense of racing and teams and NASCAR, it made absolutely no sense to drive over the 19, try and win that race.
You lost your only friend next week.
Yeah, even if you just moved him, like it would have been.
Not even like he's your teammate. You don't have to win the race to make it to the next round. I know you want to win. Because you've never won a race before, Ty Gibbs, so you really want it. You really want it.
Yeah, and like, I'm not even gonna. I wouldn't even faulted Ty Gibbs if he went in there and just moved him out of the way because it was Martinsville and he wanted to win that race really badly.
I didn't mean to wreck him.
Did you see his front end, bro?
Yeah, the blatant dump of Brandon Jones, the excessive burnouts and grandstanding, and then the chicken shit responses. Oh, I didn't mean to wreck him. Yes, you did, bro. Everybody in the industry knows what you tried to do, Ty Gibbs. If you're gonna try to be the villain, then own it.
Yeah, and then oh man,
don't do this half in, half out garbage.
And then decided to compare himself to
Jesus. What the hell?
Compared himself to Jesus, which I thought
I can't. The statement this week. Well, Ty's only 19, so you got to give him a break. He's still trying to figure things. Shh. You don't get to be 19. You're in the you're about to go in the Cup Series. You don't get to be 19. You don't get to.
He's a professional race car driver, and he's literally the face of Monster Energy. He deserves every bit of scrutiny that he's going to get.
Brett Griffin has been speaking more and more truth this year than normal, and he said it really well a couple weeks ago or something like that, talking about some of these guys wrecking each other. Namely, I think one of them was Ty Gibbs. He hears the excuse all the time, "Oh, well, they're so young." Send them back to late models.
Yeah.
They shouldn't be in the top 3 series. And send them back to ARCA. Send them to late models where they can tear a bunch of crap up, and then they can go whine to daddy, and they can get more money from grandpa. Blah blah blah. This other. send him back to late models. If he's too young to not know how to wreck somebody, send him back to fucking late models. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
It like kind of held it in. I was really mad on the day, and I've been mad about it. And like thinking about it now, like it's just spoiled. I mean, there have been drivers who have definitely had easier routes to the sport. Austin Dillon being one of those guys. I don't think of Austin Dillon that way. Austin Dillon's not spoiled. Austin Dillon had an easier road to the Cup Series, but he's worked for it. He's won races, and he's a solid driver. Ty Gibbs is a great driver, but he's a little shit, and no one in the industry likes him. No one.
I cannot fathom how he has fans. I don't understand how anybody likes him.
I don't think he has that many right now.
He's worse than Kyle ever was, too. Which is crazy.
Because at least with Kyle Busch, you could say that he earned it.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing with Kyle is Kyle owned it.
Yeah,
Kyle hide behind it.
For 17 years has been leaning into the fact that everybody hates him.
Yeah, exactly. And then the thing that really pissed me off, he heard the boos and he was like, he was doing all this stuff, and then he goes and says, "Oh, I didn't mean to wreck him.
It's two-faced.
God, Jesus was booed, so when Jesus spun his teammate into the wall, he was booed." Shut up! Shut the hell up!
That Jesus quote was from the XM radio with Claire B. Lang, who does an awesome job of knowing how to probe these guys without like.
She's good. She's
very good.
And I could hear it in her voice after he gave that response that she was like, "What?" And she don't normally do that. She's normally pretty like, "All right, I'm a Jordan."
Straightforward.
Yeah.
That's got to be one of the most insufferable answers I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
Especially after trying to play up the boos and then
I didn't mean to wreck him. Oh,
I mean, it's just spoiled. It's spoiled. He's never had to deal with the consequences for anything in his life.
No, and he still doesn't.
Never. He never, and he won't until he gets to the Cup Series.
Joe Gibbs came out yesterday and said that they're going to handle it internally. Like, what does that mean? You're going to park Brandon Jones next week? Like,
you're going to take away his ice cream before bed?
It's just absurd.
It's a spoiled kid. That's all it is.
Yeah, I got some words that I copied down here from Brandon Jones. This is a quote. Lifted it off of Jayski, Dustin Albino.
One of those two.
Getting dumped is surprising. I expected to get moved around a little bit and figured I could cover it deep enough to where he could hit me square and shoot me up the track some. Me and Ty have always been friends, but lost all respect today. I know a lot of guys have. I'm looking forward to getting first to Phoenix and trying to win that race, but then transitioning over to JRM next year. I'm going to have a good time over there.
That and the quote he said over the radio where he told his crew, he's like, "I love working with you guys, but I can't wait to get the hell out of here." Tells you everything you need to know about what JGR is like nowadays, and why I don't think Kyle Busch is looking back either. So.
Denny Hamlin's tweet that was just "I miss JD" was the most damning statement I think that could have been said.
Wait, I mean, that is out.
Yeah, he straight up just tweeted "I miss JD"
right after that incident. That is as damning as you can get. It was largely overlooked. A lot of people were like laughing at it, but I was like,
"Yeah, that was
said that." Like,
yeah, who's running the day-to-day there now?
Who knows?
Ty Gibbs.
Joe Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs racing, baby.
That was a good quote too.
No,
damn it, Noah Gregson, stop making me like you.
That's what I'm saying. Stop it.
Knock it off.
Listen, Noah off the track seems like a great personality.
I know.
Sometimes he just does the stupidest stuff on the track, and it's like, scratch your head. And stop puking. Go speak to a therapist.
Go train.
Come on.
Yeah.
Stop puking, bro. What the hell's wrong with you, man? Gross, grody looking.
God.
Yeah,
that's good. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that the Noah thing in his interview, he got asked about it because he's obviously had run-ins with Ty in the past and probably this year. It all kind of melts together at this point. But
That was one of the most damning things too, was that the guys consoling him were all the JRM drivers.
He calls it. He goes, Ty Gibbs. Oh, I mean Joe Gibbs Racing. And it's like it was like the slyest thing because everyone knows it wasn't a slip, wasn't a Freudian slip.
Gotta mention, him saying "beat his ass, bro" over Brandon Jones' shoulder while he's giving an interview.
He was like, "Beat his ass, bro! Beat his ass."
You see Brandon, all the footage of Brandon Jones talking with the JRM guys after the race. I mean, freaking Allgaier thought it was bad. AJ thought it was bad. Josh Berry thought it was bad. And those are like those are your veterans at the top of the.
Yeah. Did you guys see what Michael Annett tweeted?
No,
yes, that was good too.
Michael Annett tweeted, "Just a prick."
And that's his first tweet in months. He logged back in just to tweet that.
Oh my god.
I
can't do it.
Yeah, someone needs to beat Ty Gibbs up. I don't advocate for that, but someone's like I don't know.
I'm advocating for it.
Yeah.
I'm angry for Brandon Jones. I hope Brandon Jones is doing like the quiet cards close to the chest.
Someone needs to get him back.
Dump the shit out of him next week.
Oh, it's 100% happening. Like
someone in the Cup Series ain't gonna take it.
I mean, let's list off the guys that he's had a run in this year with. Brandon Jones now, Sammy Smith this week too.
His teammates, I might add.
Who else?
Gregson, I think.
Gregson,
AJ,
Sam Mayer. He had that one with Ryan Sieg at Las Vegas that was really, really weird.
Yeah. That one was weird, actually. Yeah.
Because Ryan Sieg is like, brother, what?
Are we just limiting it to this year?
No, I don't care.
Briscoe last year at Charlotte.
Yeah, he's had Chandler Smith. That one was an accident, though, wasn't it? Like,
kind of in retrospect, I don't think it was.
Okay, well, whatever. We'll put it on there. Helps prove our point, right? Let's be selective with our statistics. Chandler Smith, he's had a lot of run-ins with Corey Heim, too.
Yeah.
I think, right? He's pretty much had run-ins with all the TRD development guys.
He's probably had a run-in with me at this point.
Yeah.
So.
I'm expecting it soon.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna clean
he's
me
gonna
out
come
with my
down to
BMX
cart
races.
week.
You know what I hate too is like I feel like it sucks. This is purely speculative, but I just think it's a funny thought. Like I just know Ty Gibbs is at the shop and Brandon Jones is at the shop because he has to be. And
I don't think Ty Gibbs goes to the shop.
But I'm imagine. Okay, let me hear me out here. I'm just imagining Ty Gibbs is the kind of guy who goes up to Brandon Jones. He's like, "Hey man, it's all good, right? Like it was just we're just hanging out.
Gets like up in his face. Yeah. Like,
hey man, we're all good, right?
Hey,
Robin's
racing.
Robin's racing. Hey, that was good racing, man. Are you excited for Phoenix? Like I can just.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm very excited.
I can just hear it in my head. That's what Ty Gibbs is like, and he legitimately thinks it's all good. I don't know. He prayed that night or something. But
he probably asked Jesus for forgiveness.
He asked himself.
I'd also like to point out we have no problem with religious beliefs. It's Ty Gibbs using his religious beliefs as a crutch to be an asshole.
I hate when people cower behind their religion for their shitty solutions to problems and
that's what we're making
actions.
Yes. Also, maybe don't compare yourself to, literally Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. So,
and frankly, if you do have a problem with us saying what we just did, we don't like you either.
Yeah. I don't care what you think.
Ty Gibbs shares more in common with who betrayed Jesus?
Judas.
Yes, he has more in common with Judas than he does Jesus. I think he
okay.
Yeah, Jesus didn't wreck his teammate, but Judas certainly did.
I'm never gonna say this again, but let's move on to the silly season stuff.
Yeah. This has been the Theology Podcast.
That's gonna be in the thumbnail. I'm gonna have an arrow and put Judas.
Ty Dillon crucified is our thumbnail.
Oh my God!
Ty
One more
Gibbs.
thing before we move on. The guy in the cup the cup pit on Sunday morning
was dressed
as Jesus saying looking for Ty Gibbs. That was, dude. Martinsville fans showed up this weekend. I don't know what it was, but it was great. Oh my God, that was so good. They had to come up with that on short notice too. Like.
He's going to Party City. He's like, I need a Jesus costume.
I'm saying he had to have. He had to have.
Oh my God.
All right, so some silly season stuff. Davey actually is probably gonna like this one. Ty Dillon's to the 77 with Spire.
Wow.
in a move that nobody saw coming. Corey LaJoie won the Martinsville Modified race, and Tommy Baldwin was not happy with him, I think, right? I think it was
Tommy Baldwin's not really happy with anybody most of the time, though. Let's be honest.
Tommy Baldwin's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to that time Alex Bowman found out he got fired from Tommy Baldwin via a tweet.
Yep. By
Fair
someone
enough.
telling him about a tweet as well.
Yeah,
Like,
somebody telling him that it was a tweet.
Fair enough. Ryan Priest gaining interest from a certain Chevrolet truck team to run full time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, KBM.
I wonder if
snatching them up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wonder what that means with the whole speculative SHR thing, because there was the rumor that
Ford's got to do something.
or that Stewart wants him, but Gene Haas wants his own guys. So
Gene Haas wants Cole Custer. I don't know if he wants his own guys.
Or that's what I mean.
Yeah, he wants Cole Custer because guess who runs the team? Joe Custer.
And snooze you lose. Ryan Priest would be
I don't
good
think
ad for any team.
Ryan Priest has been so we've seen this before though, where teams can still hold their options on drivers and let them drive somewhere else.
Yeah,
Chris Buescher.
That's what I would imagine it is, because it's like they're not banking on Harvick and Almirola being around for much longer.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Harvick sounds like he's done after next year.
Yeah, and especially because there was rumors that both of them were going to retire after this year, so you could kind of pencil them in for it, but that they kind of threw a whole.
Yeah, with the Almirola Smithfield thing, and
yeah,
they managed to talk Harvick into another year. And then the one that Davey's really excited about.
Oh, here we go.
Parker Kligerman will be taking over the number 48 for Big Machine Racing next year in the Xfinity Series full time.
Come on!
He's going to continue his part-time role at Henderson Motorsports in the Truck Series. Would expect that team to move to Chevrolet completely, because they've been running Toyotas and Chevys back and forth, and then also going to keep his role with NBC.
Good for him, dude.
Happy for that man. He deserves it. He's deserved this chance for a while. I'm glad he finally proved it. This all started with the win in Mid-Ohio.
Pencil him into the playoffs next year, probably.
I'm not saying a word.
He'll be in the mix.
I'm not saying a word. I don't want to do anything bad juju.
I'd expect him to be
very
on
happy
pace
though.
with like the hour guys, maybe the call-up guys. So
pretty cool though. Parker Kligerman is going to be driving the 75, which is my number, and the 48, which is my hero's
your other number.
So we're chilling. This is great.
All right, with all the silly season stuff wrapped up, and we're sitting at 52 minutes and 6, 7, 8, 9 seconds. Let's get into championship weekend. As we do, we always do this really quick for no reason whatsoever. Trucks are at Phoenix. The final four are this, in both the owners and the drivers' championship. 66 of Ty Majeski. The 38 of Zane Smith. The 18 of Chandler Smith. And the 99 of Ben Rhodes. Who you got winning the title? Who you got winning the race?
I'm not allowed to be happy, Ben Rhodes.
Joe, do you want one of the Smiths?
I do.
Do you want Zane Smith?
I do.
Okay, take him. I'll take Ty Majeski then.
Okay. What the hell?
Because Ty Majeski's been on a run right now.
Yeah,
so.
I would.
Yeah.
Majeski's probably who I lean towards, but something will happen.
Yeah. Also, when Ty Majeski won his first race, that was the first time I've ever seen what Ty Majeski looks like. Not what I thought he would look like. I was not expecting a short bearded dude. So
okay, all right,
budget
sure.
Josh Berry,
More ways than one, honestly. They've kind of followed the same career path, weirdly enough. Xfinity, it is, of course, Noah Gragson, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, and Justin Allgaier for your final four in drivers and owners points.
Gregson.
We can pick the same people. It's okay.
Nope.
I'm not going to be disappointed, so I'm going to take Josh Berry. So
I really want Josh Berry though.
Same.
Yeah, I'm going to take. I don't want to take the Monster Boy.
Do you want Josh Berry?
No.
I'll take Justin Allgaier if we want to diversify.
No, I'll take Justin Allgaier.
Okay.
He's got to win one of these someday, right?
Yeah.
He's got to win eventually.
He's my boy, but Justin Allgaier never wins when I watch, so I'm trying to like reverse jinx it by not picking.
And then
Even though
Cup,
I would love to see Barry win. So.
for the first time since like the 60s, we're gonna have separate driver. We could have separate drivers and owners champions. The driver's title is Logano, Chastain, Bell, and Elliott. The owners is Larson, Logano, Bell, and Chastain.
How does Joey Logano always just sneak into the Final Four?
He doesn't.
I feel like I have seen him like 4 times this year.
Hasn't been in the Final Four since 19 or 20. Maybe
You
not.
say
Yeah,
that
since
like it
he was
isn't
in
just 2
2020.
years ago.
Yeah, so he missed it last year.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It was even like 2020. He was just kind of like MIA for most of the year, and then he's like, "Oh, hey, I won! All right."
Pretty much, Joey Logano's a lock to make it in even numbered years.
You just put him in the
Right.
in the round of 8 every single time. So,
yeah.
Who do we got?
I'm going double Chastain.
Because I said it now, fine, Logano. Not looking forward to it, but it'll probably happen.
Dude has been hot all year. He's going to have the full might of one of the best race teams behind him. And it's going to be funny to see Chase Elliott fans cry. Christopher Bell.
Yeah.
Truly.
No one has more momentum.
True.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's fair.
Although
Oh my goodness,
I think
boys.
I'd pick Chastain if I could pick.
Oh, God. We knocked down another one of these bad boys, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yep, 2 to go.
It's like
White
they're,
flag
they're
next
holding
time
out
by.
they're holding out the white and the checkered flag and 2 sticks in there. You know?
Dare
You
I
guys never-
say a green white checkered
You-
for the podcast?
Have you guys ever seen how did that get a laugh, bro? Come on.
I'm not
It's
happy about it
funny.
either. So
I was doing the flagman thing with the white and the checkered.
Yeah, but that one's funnier because we had last week off, so it was like a caution came out.
Shut the hell up. Shut up. Shut up.
What?
Shut up.
I'm allowed to. You know what,
Go
Davey?
trick or treating, Joe.
No, I'm allowed to laugh at things. You don't get to decide what I get to laugh at.
You
All
sure
right?
about that?
Yeah, I am sure about that.
We'll have to go over your contract.
I'm so confused.
Folks, cannot thank you enough for watching the Fake Racers podcast this week. As always, make sure if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe, do all those things. They really do help more than you could ever know, and we appreciate when you do them. Let us know what you think about this last weekend's race, because we love interaction, and no one interacts with us, so we don't know if we actually love it.
Please interact with us.
Please call me.
Make fun of Ty Gibbs in our DMs.
Yeah.
I do not want people DMing me, but make fun of Ty Gibbs at Fake Razors. I get enough of that, man. I get enough of that. Just tweet at me. Like, come on.
Hey, at GTN, can I get on the broadcast? I want to help commentate.
Yeah. Can I come on the podcast? I know you guys don't know me. Oh, good.
Biting my tongue.
Yikes.
That is actually a really pet peeve of mine, folks. If you want to be on the broadcast, I'm one of those people that when you ask me to do something, it makes me not want to do it. So,
Hey, Joe, can you not put me on the broadcast?
hey, Davey, you want to do a broadcast next week?
Damn, he's right.
You can follow Davey at D7H5.
Instagram, Davey has it on Twitter. D7H5 are on Twitch. I did it for the first time in a year or month or one of those lengths of time.
Matthew can be found at Dale Jr. 88 Rocks here on Twitter.
With an X.
I'm sorry, on YouTube. M Steelman 51 on Twitter.
There it is.
And he's got some other things. If you follow him on Twitter, you'll be able to find. But he has not allowed me to shout out on here. You can also catch.
I was gonna say I'm contemplating still making that YouTube video where I buy and read every single Bionicle book. So maybe someday I'll make that.
Are there going to be new episodes of Oof Sides?
Yeah, my friggin' uploads failed, so I gotta redo them because my internet sucks. We recorded all of them. It's just my literally my computer will not like work with me in getting them uploaded. So
Is it because you guys do 3-hour episodes?
maybe. Actually, I think the last couple were only like an hour long. But yeah,
That's good. That's awesome.
Wow, Davey, look, they met our target time.
yeah.
Hey, let them. Hey, they needed to find some time to get
Just
into the
like
groove.
Listen, I'm just mad I haven't gotten to heard about the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and there's already been another brawl in the freaking tunnel. I mean,
That'll probably be the football moment of the week again. So
please clown on those fools, please.
Oh,
That's all I
absolutely.
ask.
Yeah.
Davey, did you hear about this?
I did hear about it.
Okay.
Got
all
himself in the wrong tunnel or something.
right. No, not in the wrong
It's
tunnel.
the only tunnel.
There's only one tunnel.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a structural problem.
Imagine, you're losing and you lose and you get your butts kicked, and then instead of, just going back to your locker room and being a good sport about it, you just beat up the other team.
It's like, why didn't you do that while the game was going on?
That's all I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
A little brother energy. But, folks, cannot thank you enough, as always, for watching the Fake Racers podcast, listening, doing all those things. Again, help support us. We appreciate it, as always, and we'll see you guys next week for our championship wrap-up.
Championship and grades.
Bars, dude.